What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Wesley from AK Nation TV here on YouTube and watchactv.com. The two places on the World Wide Web where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And the similar connections that I want to adopt with you is for the appreciation, the admiration, disdain, I don't know, for the movie Snake Eyes. Y'all saw my thumbnail. I'm not a huge fan. Before I get into this review, I do and would love for you to follow me on social media. Twitter and Instagram is AConnectionTV. Also, if you would be so kind, is to follow our miniature Netflix. We produce original scripted content that we release weekly. And yes, we're starting from the ground level, trying to work our way up. It's called watchactv.com. Also, we have a mobile app that is available on Apple and Android. And go to actvshop.com to buy merch. Now, I don't know if y'all do what I do, but there are a couple of people out there that I actually watch with regards to reviews. John Campea, which I just watched his video. It's up here. He's up there in the background. And Grace. I watched Grace Randolph and Just My Opinion. And sometimes I watch the chick. I can't remember her name. Pay Her Weight. Sometimes I watch her. It just depends. Believe it or not, I typically am more in line with John Campea and Grace Randolph versus Just My Opinion guy and Pay Her Weight. I don't know why, but I just am. So I usually trust Grace's input overall, right? Because she's witty, she's funny, and we usually like the same stuff. Sometimes. Not all the time. But if she gives me a review, I take her input into consideration when I go to see a film. Some reason, though, Grace said that Snake Eyes is her #1 film this year, unseating A Quiet Place 2. And I'm like, what? How is that even possible that a movie like Snake Eyes is unseating A Quiet Place 2? I'm like, I'm not saying anything about her mental, but we usually vibe. We usually have the same zhuzh about things. And I'm like, okay, then this movie is freaking insane. This movie has got to be the best thing since sliced bread. It is going to rock my entire globe. And my expectations are skyrocketing high right now. A Quiet Place 2 is a phenomenal film. It is my #1 film of the year. I should do a top 10 list, but A Quiet Place 2 is phenomenal. Damn near perfect film. I don't see Snake Eyes going anywhere near it. I don't see Shang-Chi going anywhere near it. I don't see any Marvel film this year going anywhere near it. What are we talking about here? But whatever. I like her. I think her opinion is cool. And I go see the film. This film is starring Henry Golding, Ursula Cabero, Samuel Weaving, Andrew Koji, Iko Uwais, Haruka Abe, I know I'm pronouncing these names horribly, Peter Mensah, Takeru Hida, Stephen Alaric, Maynard Bagang, and the list goes on, okay? That's who's in this movie. Let's start with the actors. That's what we'll do. We'll start with the actors. Henry Golding, I hated his character. I hated his character in this movie because his character is not a true, in the movie sense, a true hero. He's all over the place. And no spoilers, even if you should go see this, I don't even think you should go see this movie, but no spoilers. He's just all over the place and he's not the typical hero. They try to make him play the fence, but there's no fencing that he's playing. He's just on one side and he's all for himself and he's just out to seek revenge. and you don't care. Like, I don't care about his story. I don't care why he's seeking revenge. You got these good people that are trying to bring him into the fold, and he's just not caring about them. So I don't care about him. So it sucked that Henry Golding had to play this character because I just didn't care about him. Ursula Cabero, meh, it was a wash. Samara Weaving, meh, it was a wash. Her character was just a wash. Andrew Koji, wow. Andrew Koji as Storm Shadow, wow. I felt like it should have been called Storm Shadow. Like, the movie should have been called Storm Shadow. Why are we calling this Snake Eyes? I don't understand it, right? But phenomenal job, Andrew Koji. Iko Uwais as the Hard Master, phenomenal job. Haruka Abe, I thought she was cool. I mean, typical babe, falling for a man. That's what it gave me. Whatever. Peter Mensah, great job as the Blind Master. Freaking phenomenal. And those are my favorites. 3 characters. 3 characters. Andrew, Iko, and Peter. Phenomenal job. Everyone else was meh action. So I was watching John Campia. He just left the movie theater a couple hours ago or whatever. And he's talking about the action in the film. And he was like, he was expecting to see action in this movie, but he couldn't see it because the camera was moving all over the place. And you know what? As I was watching the movie, I was wondering, I'm like, what is going on with these action scenes? Why do they seem like it's starting off so cool, but as you get through them, it's sporadic and you don't really understand what's happening. And then you go, ta-ta-ta-ha, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ha. And then there's like a jump and a flying Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon moment. And there's like shaky camera all over the place. And that's exactly what it was. The camera was moving and shaking so freaking much that it was hard to follow the action and what was going on. And you felt like, wow, they were really performing and doing great action scenes, but the camera was moving so much you couldn't really make out what was happening. You knew that action was happening, but you couldn't really make it out. And that happened quite often. Not in every action scene, but it happened very, like, often. So when you go to watch a movie like Snake Eyes, you would hope that the action would keep you thrilled throughout the whole movie, but it did not. The pacing in this movie is almost damn near piss poor. Like, we start off with why we're watching this movie and why we should care about Snake Eyes. I don't end up caring about him, but they tell us why we should care. And just the pacing, getting through everything was just like, oh my God, what is, like, I'm bored. Like, I was so bored watching this movie. And I'm like, wow. Like, the trailer, like, sells you this, like, fantastic martial arts film, you know, and I was just not here for the pacing and the writing. Yeah, wow. Not impressed. The only thing that I will say about the writing is that it was not predictable. I was not expecting for Henry Golding to not be the hero. I just wasn't expecting that. So it wasn't predictable. What happened in the film was not predictable until we got to the third act, and it was kind of like, well, even then it was not predictable. I was shocked. So that was the only thing that the writing did for me. But other than that, like, Henry Golding had some of the worst one-liners, period. Like, I can't think of a moment where he had a paragraph of dialogue to say in a scene. Wow. Wow, he didn't. He didn't really. Except for the one where he told Akiko about his father, but that didn't even feel heartfelt. It was very monotone and, like, drowned out. Wow. And Grace said that this was her #1 movie. I mean, you know, everybody has an opinion and everybody's entitled to it, but apparently the reviews aren't good. And I can see why. So this got a 43% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I understand why. A 76% audience score, I don't see how, but 43% I get. It's not a great film. It's solid because it checks a lot of boxes, that a standard typical film should check. It's not complete trash, but it's not good either. When you call a film solid, doesn't make it great, good, or horrible. It's just a solid film. You don't walk away with the goosies. You're not like the action is not riveting. Like the story is not compelling. The acting is not believable. You know what I'm saying? So like it's standard. It's a simple film. And it is what it is. 70%, 76% people like it. I mean, they give it. I don't know. It's not. It's just not unseating A Quiet Place 2. I don't know what the hell Grace was thinking when she said that this was her #1 film. What are we talking about? Luca is better than Snake Eyes. What? Luca is better than Snake Eyes. Black Widow is better than Snake Eyes. Period. And I know a lot of people don't like Black Widow, but Black Widow is definitely better than Snake Eyes. It is what it is. I don't know. Leave your opinion below this film. If you decided to waste your money and go check this film out, sucks for you. I paid $20 to watch this bullcrap on IMAX. And my IMAX theater in AMC Monroe, Georgia is trash. Like, it's not even IMAX. It's just a big screen. The audio doesn't match. Anyways, I paid $20 to see this, and I wish I could get my money back. I would wait for this to come on Paramount Plus, but there was no point in me watching this movie. I hope Shang-Chi is 10 times better than this. I just hope. I hope. I know. You're not about to think about not subscribing to aconnectiontv.com. Copyrighted.